Yo guys, it's Britt coming to you live, and I want to talk about my favorite topic. One of the favorite things of mine to talk about is this concept of how you feel about people is how they feel about you. Okay? And originally, like a year ago, I came up with this post, and I feel like it was one of my best posts that I've ever done, you guys. But the post was, the people that you think are hot think you're hot back. Okay? And so that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, but I don't just mean the people that you think are hot think you're hot or think you're hot back. I mean, like, the people that you look up to, if you're in a proper energy state, look up to you as well. And the people you think are really smart and cool think you're really smart and cool as well. And, you know, the people that you're in love with love you back. Okay? Hey, Kissy, love you. And if this isn't happening for you, I want to teach you why this isn't happening and how to shift this and make it happen. Okay? So let me know if you're on here. Say hi, you guys. Say hi when you pop on. So I want to talk about why this is, and I want to talk about why it isn't. If you're not experiencing this, if you're not experiencing, you know, people that you think are hot thinking you're hot back, or people that, you know, you think are really cool aren't thinking you're cool back, like you're kind of feeling like you're on the outside and like everybody fucking hates you, but you love them, but they hate you. That's not natural. Okay, it's not natural for life to be like that. It's 100% natural for the people that you adore to adore you back. And this is the Abraham Hicks quote that this teaching that I've found is actually from. The actual quote is, "Those that you adore you back." Okay? And then they like take a quote of someone like in the audience, and then like this woman is like, well, Abraham, this man, I loved him with all my heart, and he rejected me, he broke my heart, he didn't love me back, right? And then Abraham says, you were offering him worry. You were offering him insecurity. It wasn't the pure vibration of love. Because those who you love you back. Okay? So, I love you too, Kissy. You're one of my favorite people to follow on the internet, actually. Everybody follow Kissy Denise. She is such a fucking badass, and her posts heal me every day. Hey, Dawn. Thank you. So, did you guys get that? So, this is what Abraham said to this woman. So, Abraham says, who you adore adores you back, or whom you adore adores you back. And then this woman said, I'm just repeating it because this is so fucking next level. It needs to be said twice. And then this woman said, well, Abraham, that's not true, because there was this man that I loved with all my heart and he did not love me back. Okay? And then Abraham said, you were offering him fear. You were offering him worry. You were offering him insecurity. It wasn't the pure vibration of love. Okay? And this is oftentimes what happens, you guys, when we fall in love with people, right? I don't know why I'm putting this in. Why I'm doing this. I do know why I'm doing that. So sometimes when we're falling in love with people, we love them, right? We're like, okay, this is the perfect person that I found. But we're also sending thoughts to them like this, like, oh, but like they couldn't possibly love me back because I'm kind of a fucking loser or something. Or like they couldn't possibly love me back because like I've seen their ex-girlfriends and their ex-girlfriends are like way fucking hotter than me, and like actually I'm just gonna get ditched, and actually this guy thinks I'm dumb as fuck. And like then you start going in this loop, right? It's those thoughts that block the manifestation of him loving you. Or her, right? This applies to men as well. This applies to all humans. And so like when you go up to a guy, or you like really want to date a guy, or you want to like have sex with him or whatever you want from him, and you really like him, but you start thinking those thoughts like, oh, but he's not going to like me back. Or, oh, like, actually, oh my God, I'm having such a bad hair day. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm like, oh, I look so shitty. Like, I was just at the gym. Oh my God, like, I'm so scared. Like, now this guy's not going to want to talk to me anymore. And you start going into all that, like, this whole loop or whatever. or you start thinking like jealous thoughts, like, oh, he likes this other girl more than me, like he liked this other girl's pic, like, oh my god, that means that girl is better than me, and like, holy shit, I need to go to the gym more, and I need to like change my whole appearance, I need to like become a better person, I need to be more successful, I need to do all this stuff. Do you see the loop of negativity that you're creating? That will become true if you have full expectation that it will come true. Okay? So does that make sense, you guys? Like, literally, the people that you love will love you back if you don't curse it with those thoughts and beliefs. And you can have a little bit of that going on, right? Like, we're humans. We're always going to have these inferiority feelings. We're always going to feel kind of like, oh, well, maybe they're not going to like me, right? You're going to have a little bit of that. But it's if you really actually believe that over you getting to have what you desire, right? Like, it's okay to like entertain a little bit of that bullshit, and it's hard to fully cut it off, right? But you have to fully believe that that doesn't matter, and it's not actually true, and actually what you want wants you, and actually people love you, and actually you're hot as fuck, and actually everyone wants to date you, and actually everyone wants to be your friend, and you know, like, you have to brainwash yourself with those thoughts if you want that reality. Right? You can't just expect everybody to leave you and expect everybody to think you're ugly and expect nobody to want to talk to you and then have people thinking the opposite of that. You can't. The universe will not bring you that. Yeah, Aaron says, I always judge people the harshest when I was at my worst. Now that I'm on my own shit, winning in life, I have more empathy and am more likely to see the good in people. That's so true. That's so true. That's a really good point. If people are judging you, they're judging themselves too. And like, when you're in a really solid vibration of appreciation and vibration of love for yourself and love for life, you're not just going to go around criticizing people. Like, you're not going to come up with criticisms. Like, I barely ever notice anything wrong with like anybody, you guys. Like, I just don't even notice anything. Like, you can say that I have rose-colored glasses on with everybody, but it doesn't matter if I have rose-colored glasses on with everybody, because I don't get hurt by anybody, because I know that I'm creating my own feelings. And also, I'm creating like joyous relationships and love by being that within first, right? If that makes sense. So that's how to stop being afraid of having rose-colored glasses on with people. You just recognize that you're actually creating your own reality. And you don't have to really be afraid of anything. But is that making sense, you guys, how your beliefs about other people and what they are and how they're feeling about you is creating it? Like, I remember there was this guy, I always talk about this guy all the time. There's the same guy that's totally fucked my soul into a new dimension. But when I first met him, I was like younger. I was like a few years younger than what I am now. And I really just like felt like he was way better than me. And like, I just didn't feel that I was worthy of him. I didn't feel like that he was gonna like me, and so I didn't even talk to him for like years. I like knew him, or like an entire year I knew this guy, and I didn't even talk to him. I just saw him like every single day, and I never said a word. Well, like, I would say hi and stuff, but I never said that I was like wanting him or like wanting to know him or whatever. And I never said anything. I never did anything. And you know, when you feel like that, you end up manifesting situations where people don't like you because you are expecting them to not like you, right? You're already like putting people up on a pedestal. So here's the thing that I really want you to know. Actually, I did have a relationship with this guy, and at first he did hurt me. Like, he totally like freaking hurt me and taught me, you know, how to love myself and shit. But actually, it's turned around, and like now he actually likes me too. And like, you can have relationships like that. Like, you can have the guy that fucking ditched you or didn't, or thought you were like shitty and didn't even like you. You can have him change towards you if you just expect him to. Like, if you start thinking thoughts like, well, it just doesn't really actually make sense that this guy wouldn't like me. Like it doesn't even make logical sense. And then you have to feel it in your body too. You have to be like, you know what? Like, I'm actually so hot that it literally doesn't make sense that this guy's not gonna think that I'm hot. Okay? And this is how you manifest all the guys thinking you're hot, is you become so sure of it. And this is another thing I've done, you guys. It's like, even on a bad day, like today, I'm in week 3 of my cycle, which is like more bloated. Today I was actually feeling like fat as fuck. And then I took my clothes off to like take a hot pic to send to a guy. That might be TMI. But anyway, so I like took off my clothes. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh shit, I'm still actually hot as fuck. And then I thought about it and I realized, oh, it's because I'm so strong in the belief that I'm like physically hot that literally I can even feel shitty in the moment and I'm still hot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even have to go to the gym every day or all the time and I'm still gonna be hot. Like, and it's because I know that. It's because I believe it, right? It's a belief, right? It's a belief. If I was standing here thinking that I wasn't hot and nobody was gonna like me and nobody's gonna talk to me, I would experience that as well, if that makes sense. Kissy says, so is that why I dump all of my boyfriends? I can tell I'm not being fully loved. Okay, Kissy. So that comment I think came from a little bit before. So you're saying like you can feel when they're judging you or when they're not fully loving you and that's why you're dumping them because it's not the pure vibration of love. Is that what you're saying, Kissy? Please elaborate. But like with what I was saying too, what you can actually do is just start to believe that everyone's going to love you in the way that you want to be loved. Okay? And start to expect it. Like, there were certain qualities in men that it was like, I only knew like one guy that was these perfect qualities. And, of course, that guy didn't want to talk to me, right? So then I was kind of having this suffering complex going on of like, no, I'm never going to have what I want in a relationship. There's only this one guy and he like doesn't even want to talk to me. So like, fuck my whole life. I don't know if you guys can relate to that feeling. But as I just focused more and more on what those qualities were and what I actually did want to experience in a relationship, like, and what I actually liked about men, right? Like, I started to focus more on, well, what qualities do I actually like in men? And as I just totally focused on those qualities that I liked, it's like every single man that shows up, I'm like, he's that, and he's that, and he's that, and he's that too, and he's that too, and oh my God, there's actually too many that are perfect. Like, what am I going to do here? Now there's like freaking way too many. That's what will happen when you focus solely on what it is that you want instead of what you don't want, right? Kissy says, their actions show that I'm not fully loved by them and the things they do and say and the lack of respect. They always wanted me to be less smart, less popular. I get it. Yep. So, yeah. Let me just think about that. Their actions show that I'm not fully loved by them. The things. Yeah. So, it could just be that these men are not the match for you, right? And you do have to dump them. But if this is a pattern and it keeps happening where the men that you attract constantly want you to be less smart or less popular, I think it's your own belief, okay? And if you heal your own self and find out what part of you is actually hurting, like, is this a childhood self? Did someone say to you when you were a child that you needed to be less smart or less popular or less beautiful or something like that, Kissy? And then, like, now you're carrying it forward, and those men have to say that because it's like you expect it. You know what I mean? Like you're expecting them to react like that to you, right? Where if you spend more time, and all you have to do is at least spend 51% of the time expecting men to treat you the way that you want them to treat you, at least 51% of the time, so that the scale is like tip, right? And then you're attracting all these men that are what you want, and you'll see less and less and less of what you don't want. But you have to withdraw attention from what you don't want and put full attention on what you do want, and then start to expect it. Start to expect, like, wow, men always think that I'm like totally perfect. They always love who I am. They always love how smart I am. They always love how popular I am. They always love me for me, right? Something that I had to work on with men is that I used to find that a lot of men, like, this is like, and this could still be partially going on in my subconscious a little bit, but it's happening a lot less now. But the thing for me was, like, I knew that men wanted me and liked me and perhaps even loved me, but I never knew, like, that they would love my brain, right? And so I would just either act dumb or not share my real thoughts, like, ever. And this was before I was doing Facebook Lives and shit, right? Because now, obviously, they know what the fuck I do, like, unless we're not Facebook friends, but, like, they know. I can't hide it anymore that, like, I have a brain and I like to write and speak, right? But before I did that, I used to just expect that men wouldn't accept that part of me. And that was exactly what I would attract, because I expected it. I would attract men who, yes, they only wanted that one aspect of me, right? And they didn't care about the other aspects. But in all freaking honesty, I used to never care about men's brains either. And actually, I used to not even believe that there were men out there that were smarter than me or that actually had something to teach me. So I had a little bit of like a superiority complex around like being like way smarter than all men, which was simply a belief, because now, you guys, I attract so many men that I'm like, holy shit, they can actually teach me a lot. And you might need to come out of that mindset too with people. Like, if you feel like you're the teacher and everybody else is the student, that's never really true. We're always mutually teaching each other, right? This is something that's been coming through in a lot of my writings lately, is it's like, yeah, maybe I'm teaching you right now, but you've got something to teach me too. And so never put yourself above or below other people, because you have something to teach them, but they also have something to teach you as well. And there's no need to be superior to people. There's no need to be inferior to people. Because if we can put someone up on a pedestal and worship them as a god and think we're like nothing in comparison to them, we can also do the same thing to other people and put other people down and think like, oh, you're fucking stupid and I'm smart. When it's not really true. We all are just walking each other home. That's one of my favorite quotes. Like, we're all just walking each other home. So, like, maybe particular men, now I'm thinking of my past examples, maybe some men aren't actually as smart as me, like with books. Like, maybe they never read a book in their life, which is true for a lot of the men that I've known. But maybe they're really, really good with, like, doing some type of other shit, like, I don't know, fucking farming or something, which is something that I could not possibly know anything about, right? I'm like, the biggest, like, Barbie, like, never done any work outside in my entire life, except for maybe when my dad made me when I was a kid, and then I was just royally pissed about it. But, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, everyone has something to teach us, right? And so we want to work on never putting people above or below us. And something that can really help you out too with this perspective, so this perspective of how others feel about you is how you feel about them, right? So what can really help you is if you're known for, like, worshiping people and looking at other people as gods. This is partially me as well, where I really look up to people, and I did used to have the tendency to separate myself from them and think, oh, like, no, I'm not really like that, or I'm not as good as them, or other people are just better than me, the classic inferiority complex. That's not real. Like, if you see a quality that you like in other people, it's because you have it as well, or you have the potential to develop it, but you just haven't yet. You know what I'm saying? So all these people that you're looking up to and thinking are so amazing, you have those same qualities as them, right? And you're just not noticing it in yourself, right? So I want to give you a few more examples of this, you guys. Like, if you're thinking about someone, okay? You're thinking about someone and you think, well, I think this person is really smart and funny, but also kind of arrogant, right? Like, let's just take an example. You think this person's really smart and funny, but also kind of arrogant. And then they probably think that about you as well, even down to, like, these little qualities like that. Or if you're with someone, let's say you're dating someone, but it's not, like, solidly in a relationship yet. And you're like, wow, I think this person's really hot, and I think they're really smart, and I really like being with them. But I just feel like they're a little bit shady. Like, maybe they're cheating on me, or maybe this isn't, like, maybe they're fucking with my head or something. They literally most likely feel the exact same way about you. So keep this in mind when you're relating with people, and, like, when you're feeling all kinds of insecurities come up with people, like where you're hanging out with people and you're like, oh, like, I wonder if they're going to think I'm cool. they're probably wondering the exact same thing. They're probably wondering, oh, I wonder if she's going to think I'm cool, right? And it's really funny to think about this, but literally, this happens so much where actually, you know, like first impressions, what you thought of someone. Have you ever shared your first impression of someone and then they thought the same thing about you? And there's this classic story, you guys, where, you know, like there's two kids in high school or something. This might not be the story. But one guy walks by the other guy, and he's too shy to say hi. So one guy walks by the other guy, and he's too shy to say hi. He doesn't say anything. He walks by, and then the other guy walks by. He doesn't say anything either because he's too shy, and he doesn't talk to the other guy. And then both of those guys leave, and they think, oh, that guy was a snob. And the other guy thinks, oh, that guy was a snob. They both think the same thing. But the reality of it is they were both too shy to say hi, and no one's a snob. So I'm just like trying to tie that in with what I was saying. This happens a lot, okay? Like where the people that you actually want to be friends with, or you think are really cool, or you want to do business with, or you want to have sex with, or whatever, like you're thinking, oh, like I want to talk to that guy, but like, oh, he's like too cool. They're thinking the same thing. They're thinking, oh, but I really want to talk to her, but she's just like too cool for me, so I'm not gonna. And then we never do anything, and nobody talks, nobody has sex with each other, and everybody dies. The end. Just kidding, but you get what I'm saying. So don't be so afraid of people. This is a message for my old self as well. I used to be so like afraid of people, and before I really fully knew this, like I felt so inferior to other people, and I just want to save you from that. From the bottom of my heart, I want to save you from that feeling of feeling inferior, and recognizing that literally you are one with everybody, and how you're feeling about people is how they are feeling about you. Okay? And especially with my classic line, you guys, the people that you think are hot think you're hot back. And I've proven this to myself so many fucking times. And the only reason why they wouldn't is if you believe that they won't. Like if you're harshly judging yourself and thinking, oh, well, I think that person's really hot and cool, but I suck, and so they're not going to see me. Sure, you will create that. But if you just recognize that you are creating this life with your beliefs, and you can shift those at any time, you can experience relationships where the people that you're feeling something about, they're feeling the same thing about you. I've had this happen so many times, like where, you know, some of the people that I think are really smart and amazing, they think I'm really smart and amazing. Or some of the girls that I've ended up being friends with, I've had this feeling of, oh, I really want to be friends with them. And then like I've reached out and they were feeling the same thing. So people are feeling the same way about you as you are about them. And if you're thinking someone is annoying as fuck and you're like, stay away from me, they're probably feeling the same way too. And the only reason why this would not be true, because I know you could think right now, like, oh, well, there's this annoying guy who just never shuts the fuck up and is always talking to me all the time. He obviously doesn't feel the same way about me as I do with him. So he probably has his own inferiority complex going on that's blocking you from wanting to talk to him. And if he didn't actually believe that, like he probably has a belief that's like, oh, this really amazing hot chick is not going to talk to me. If he didn't have that belief, maybe you would want to talk to him. Maybe you would want to be friends with him, right? So everybody's doing this, right? And we just don't realize that we're doing this. But once we do, we can live in so much more joy. So that's my message for today. If you're watching on the replay, let me know if this relates. Give me a heart, give me a comment. Let me know if you think it sucked and it's not true. Tell me that as well. But it is true. Just literally, try this at home. Notice. How are you feeling about people, right? Like, if you think I'm annoying as fuck, I probably think you're annoying as fuck too, right? If you love me, I probably love you too. Unless you're blocking that love with your own negative thoughts about yourself, right? It's just the way it is, guys. And also, the Joy of Living VIP group is open now. The first training is happening tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST. You're going to want to get in there. Message me. This is my monthly membership group, you guys. You are all going to be my babies in there. And we are going to have so much fun and do so much healing work. There's going to be hypnosis. There's going to be astrology. There's going to be all the fun stuff that I do. And you will receive actual coaching support with me in the group so we can rewire your brain to joy, bitches. So message me if you want more details on that, and we will talk soon. Love you guys. Remember, you came for the joy of living.